Imagine reading a sentence that says, elevated abecedarian pupils toil amidst computative certitude eloquence, credentials instigating extensive thwarting. Are you able to comprehend the meaning of that sentence? Maybe you can comprehend, but it takes you just a little bit longer because you aren't familiar with the meaning of all of the words. You are listening to episode 42 of the Upper Elementary Simplified podcast. I'm your host, Danna, and today we are slipping into the shoes of students and understanding their frustration with higher level math skills. Welcome to Upper Elementary Simplified, the podcast where busy and overwhelmed teachers find thoughtful ideas to get students engaged in meaningful learning experiences. Hi, I'm Danna Rodebush, former fifth grade classroom teacher and founder of Teacher Tech Studio. I'm here to share practical tips and strategies that will help you grow as an educator. If you are a tired upper elementary teacher searching for ways to cut down your planning time while boosting student engagement, you are in the right spot. Are you ready? Let's simplify. From January 8th through February 10th, Teacher Tech Studio is sponsoring a podcast giveaway event for upper elementary teachers. When you participate in the Math Fact giveaway, you will have chances to win prizes for completing as many of the tasks on the list as you want. There are 13 tasks to choose from, and you can complete 1, 5, or all 13 of them. Each task you complete earns you an additional entry for a chance to win your choice of one of the prizes. You can win my brand new mini course that guides you as you build a multiplication fact fluency program in your classroom. You can win my Math Fact Simplified program, Math Fact Fluency games, or you can win a guest spot on the podcast to talk about an education topic of your choice. You can find all of the details about how to participate at upperelementarysimplified.com/giveaway. You can also find that link in the show notes. Now imagine that you are baking a cake. You have mixture, butter, oil, and sugar, and you are heading over to the fridge to grab some eggs when you realize you are out of eggs. So you hop in your car to go to Walmart and get a carton of eggs. When you get home, you look at the bowl of mixed ingredients and think to yourself, did I already add the oil to that mixture? You decide you better add just a little bit of oil just in case you forgot. Then you start to crack eggs when your phone rings. You quickly run your hands under the water with a little bit of soap before you answer your phone. It's the doctor's office calling to remind you of your appointment tomorrow. When you hang up the phone, you go back to your cake batter and you have to look at your broken eggshells to remember how many eggs you have already added. And then you wonder, did I already add in the vanilla? You finally get the cake batter mixed, poured into your baking pans, and placed in the oven. You set your timer for 25 minutes and then you head to start some laundry and take care of some other chores when suddenly the power goes out. You are frustrated, but then you remember the cake in the oven. The power clicks back on, but what was the timer on when the power went out? Is that cake going to be the best it could have been if you hadn't had so many distractions? Think about your student who is trying to solve a multi-digit multiplication or division expression when he has to keep stopping to figure out the product of 7 times 8 and 4 times 7. When he finally draws enough circles or tally marks and finds the product, he is going to come back to his paper and forget where he was at in the process. Think back to the sentence I read you at the very beginning of this episode. If you don't know the meaning of the words in context, or worse, if you can't decode the words to even begin to know the meaning of the words, then how are you going to comprehend anything that you are reading? Multiplication fact fluency is the same concept. We have to recognize words to comprehend a text, and we also have to recall basic multiplication facts to comprehend higher math. With our sentence analogy, we must break down the sentence word by word to first figure out the meaning of each word, and then put it all together to make sense of the words together and comprehend the meaning of the sentence. Elevated abecedarian pupils toil amidst computative certitude eloquence credentials, instigating extensive thwarting. Elevated means upper, abecedarian means elementary, pupils is another word for students, toil means struggle, amidst is another word for with, computative is another word for math, certitude means fact, eloquence is another word for fluency, credentials means skills, instigating means causing, extensive is another word for major, and thwarting is another word for frustration. So that complicated sentence simply means upper elementary students struggle with math fact fluency skills, causing major frustration. All of these steps that we are taking to comprehend this one sentence and all of the distractions we had when we were baking our cake can be compared to a student who is trying to solve 4,389 times 78. If this student has to stop and count on his fingers to find the product of 8 times 9, and then again with 8 times 8, and again with 7 times 8, it is going to be much more difficult for him to solve. Not only because it is going to take so much longer this way than if he could pull those products out of his memory, but also he is going to get distracted and lose his place in the algorithm. He will figure out that 8 times 8 equals 64, but then he might forget which numbers he needs to multiply next. Or he might forget to record his placeholder 0, or he might forget to add the numbers he has regrouped. And he most certainly is not going to be able to make sense of the process of why he is recording a placeholder 0 or adding those numbers he regrouped. The point I'm trying to make here, and that I am so passionate about, is that if students would first commit basic multiplication facts to memory, then all other higher level math would be so much simpler for them because they are not getting distracted by having to stop and use remedial counting strategies in the middle of an algorithm, which means they are not frustrated when it takes them 10 minutes to solve one problem. This episode is sponsored by my free math masterclass workshop, designed to give you the tools that you need to start a fact fluency building system in your own classroom. If your students are struggling with multiplication fact fluency and you are at a loss of what to do to help them, you won't want to miss this workshop. You don't have to figure it out by yourself. I've been where you are. Let me help you confidently launch a fact fluency strategy that your students will be excited about from day one. Sign up for free by heading to teachertechstudio.com/masterclass. That link will be in the show notes. Remember, if you are not already a member of our free Facebook group, I want to invite you to join. I give lots of tips and updates and free resources over there that you won't want to miss. You can search Upper Elementary Simplified on Facebook and find us, or I will also leave a link in the show notes for today's episode at upperelementarysimplified.com/episode 42. And also remember to check out the link in the show notes to sign up for my free math masterclass so that you can get your students on a path towards a better relationship with math. Join me next Tuesday where we will be chatting about what fluency really is. Have a great week. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Upper Elementary Simplified. I hope you are able to take away something useful that will help you grow as a teacher. I do have a quick favor to ask before you go. If you are enjoying the podcast, please let me know by leaving me a review. It really does make a difference because reviews impact search results, which helps me to expand my reach to other educators. Plus, I love to read my listeners' comments. Until next time, keep life simple.